Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. Today we are doing the flight test with the DJI NEO with the Motion Controller 3 and the DJI Goggles 3. You may remember my review of the Avata 2. The little NEO is basically a mini Avata 2. It's pretty amazing how small and compact they're making it with all this tech. This is kind of like a hybrid selfie drone. It can be used without any controller, without even your phone. And it can just be put up in the air by pressing some buttons and you can track yourself. If you do have controllers or you want to get controllers, amazingly, you can link them up, OcuSync 4 technology, and you can basically fly it like you could the Avata 2. You can also link it to some of DJI's other new controllers. I'm going to show you how to connect it really quick to your goggles and the controller. And we're just going to take this up and kind of do the same kind of flight test I did with the Avata. Fly around the house here and just see like what kind of video we can get and just how fun it is. Anyway, let's have some fun with the NEO and get started. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, I am having a drawing where you can win your own DJI NEO. So make sure you go down below in the description down there and you check that website where you can enter the drawing and win your own. Also have a couple more items up there that you can also enter and win some cool stuff. First things first, just linking the NEO, just power on as normal. Let that boot up. And then also go ahead and power on the goggles and power on your Motion Controller 3 if you have one of these. All you need to do to bind all this stuff up, it's super simple. You're just holding in the power button on the NEO right here until you see it blink like that, and then you're gonna see those LED lights. Next thing you're doing is you're just basically holding in the goggles button right here until you hear that. And then you hear some beeping, searching, and it already linked. That's how fast it was. We have solid lights on the little NEO here, and we have solid lights on the goggles. All right, so let's get this thing up in the air and see what it can do. Let's go ahead and lift off here just by pressing this button twice. We're gonna start our propellers up and then click and hold the launch. Awesome. Okay, so just holding the trigger a little bit. Cool, so this is 4K 30 I have now recording on the drone. And I just want to see how similar it is to kind of like how the Avata flew. And it feels so similar, wow. Feels exactly the same. We'll just do a quick flight around the house real quick. So I'm just like pointing the cursor in the middle of the screen where I want to fly and then just flying around. Oh man, yeah, this is just like the Avata. It's like the same kind of control. This is awesome. I am noticing like a little bit of an interesting lag in the goggles, maybe because I'm in 30 frames per second. It's not as smooth as I thought it would be. Maybe I need to go into 60 frames per second. But you'll be kind of hearing the drone coming around. Let's do a full trigger pull here. So that's full throttle. How fast am I going? 15, 16 miles per hour when I was low. Let's go ahead and come back to the house at a higher elevation. Remember, this is in normal mode. Yeah, right around 13. Interesting. Let's come back down. And hopefully the drone is stabilizing the video, because in the goggles, what you're seeing, hey, woohoo! Just so easy with the motion controller. It's just like the Avata, guys. I can't say the same for wind. It's not gonna handle as good in the wind because it's so light. But just look at this, wow. That's just so awesome. Woo! Let's try a little bit of threading the needle here in this little spider web we put up. Yeah. So same kind of control. You're just squeezing the trigger on the controller, just slowly squeezing and pointing. for wherever you want to go. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. So a little bit exploring here in the backyard. So definitely tiny whoopable, and it's even easier with the motion controller. If you haven't seen my Avata 2 test, guys, I did the same thing with it in the same area, and it just pretty unbelievable. You can slow down by just letting off the trigger a little bit. Whoa! And you can thread the needle as slow or as fast as you want. There's literally just a tiny breeze. So anyway, we know this thing can perform phenomenal, just doing the same stuff that the Avata could do. And let's see what we can do in some other modes. So it seemed like about 15 was maximum from normal. I'm gonna get up here a bit. I'm just pointing it up. And this will be a great test for you guys to see how the camera quality is. Doesn't do 4K 60 like the Avata, but it does 4K 30. I may switch to 1080 60 in just a minute. Let's switch into sport. I think it was this one. Yeah. So you see that we're in sport mode. And if I'm not pulling the trigger a little bit, it's just sitting there hovering. I got to pull the trigger just a tad. So sport mode, let's see how fast we can get going in this compared to normal. I got full trigger. 17. So a few more miles per hour. And I do have the propeller guards on this, guys. So on the next battery, we will take those off, okay? Whoa. And letting off, that's how fast it stops. I almost hit that wire on the bench, holding it up. And did you see how quick it stops? So not bad, actually. I'm just looking over at the bottom of my goggles. I have 69% charged on my goggles. What is my percentage on my craft? 58. Okay, the craft is on the bottom right, but more near the center, okay? Let's just get over here and just do a little bit more swooping around. I'm gonna do a house fly through on the next battery as well, okay? So I just wanted to just really show you guys what was up here. Now remember, this doesn't have any obstacle avoidance. It just has the sensors on the bottom to keep it up off the ground. Ooh, and sport doesn't even look like those are working either. Let's, whoa, 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 whoa. That was weird. It just started going backwards on its own. All right, let's switch back into normal. Just pressing that mode button. And I do want to see if it will hit the ground, if those sensors will work. Okay, it seems like the sensors are working. I'm trying to fly into the ground right now. Okay, cool. So it won't fly into the ground. I'm pushing down. Let's see if the same goes for the shade. So with this one as well, look at this. You can get some great, cool, low to the ground shots. I'm trying to go further down. So maybe not entirely accurate on its ground sensing because I'm trying to go down, but it's just still going higher as I go down the hill. And it's just really gradually coming down. So this is directly behind my head. I'll have the video up from the goggles as well as from the drone. Getting a little bit pixelated here. Whoa, and look how low that's getting now. So maybe not the best ground sensing. I'm just gonna hold the trigger hard and just go up here. So be careful, you may hit the ground. I thought that ground sensing would be a little bit better. Let's just thread the needle here at full throttle. Whoa! Okay, I don't know what's going on right now. It's pulling me and drifting. So this has GPS in it. You can see on the bottom right of the goggles, there is GPS. I've got 16, 17 satellites. And I don't know, maybe it's not refreshing fast enough on the GPS at times. Let me let off here. Seems to be stable now, but for a minute there, it was just like drifting and wandering. Anyway, a little bit of breeze is going to really affect this thing because it's so small. That may have been what happened. It was just a little gust of breeze. Awesome, but we can do needle threading and all that. We still have our home icon wherever we took off, if you want to have that up. Nice. Just having a blast. So I don't know if my hand's going to be perfectly in view, guys, but ooh, all right, just hit a little branch there and it seems fine. I guess, you know, if you're really worried about your propellers, keep those propeller guards on. We still have 31% power. This will give us a good indication, just kind of zooming around, what kind of flight time we get with the top propeller guards on. Let's try a 180 drift. Let's see if it works. So I'm gonna just full trigger it. Oh, we've got a low battery, guys. Let's see how it is at returning to home. Wow, it thinks its home is way over there. Why? Okay, that's not good. Let's cancel it. You see how it thinks home is down there on my driveway? So there may have been a little glitch. I may have gone too fast starting off. Here's how fast it's descending. 4.5 miles per hour. Full trigger. Let's see if we can get home while it's in critically low battery mode. We still have 21% actually. So is it gonna land yet? No, awesome, okay. I really wanted to do that 180 slide drift. 180 drift, let's try it. Yeah, so it works just like the Avata 2. You hold the trigger and then you just press right or left. Oh, I can't do it because the battery's too low. Oh, there we go. You really have to be quite high for that to work. It can't detect anything underneath it. Wow, I'm shaking all over the place. I better get home because I don't want to ruin the batteries right off the bat. We'll save that for the range test, right? I am doing a range test on this, guys, so stay tuned. Let's come on in here and land. And we'll just land right here. Holding down on the orange button. Yeah.
Aircraft landing automatically.
Awesome. You want to pull your camera up and down? There you go. All right, guys, let's pop in one more battery. We'll try a home fly through. Also try to change the resolution to 1080 and the 60 frames per second. See if it's a little smoother. So, quick tour of the house. Excuse the mess. Coming in the dining area. We'll fly through the kitchen. Kind of low here. Wow, so tiny whoop this is definitely capable of. Just fly around the plants here in the living room. Hit a couple leaves. We'll circle around into the hallway. Whoa, oh, nice. We'll just go into the bathroom and then head into the girls' messy room. Do a fly through. I'm seeing no loss in quality whatsoever. We'll fly up here to the upstairs. Woo! Nice. Taika's sleeping, so we don't want to go into the master bed. Oh, I should have opened those doors too. Anyway, that's the outside upstairs balcony. Let's try and fly down the stairs and up the stairs one more time. The one thing I wish with the motion controller is I can't go down very fast. Even pushing it rather hard. Let's see if we can go up a little faster. Now this is in 1080, 60 frames per second, guys. Oh. Trying. Oh. Yeah, okay. I just wasn't squeezing the trigger. Wow. Look at that mess. Amazing. Anyway. In the house. Yikes. Whoa. Do a little bit of shooting some gaps here while we're at it. Anyway, definitely the motion controller, I mean, I just love it. Let's go back out here. That's enough of the dirty house. All right, I'm gonna land it right here again, and we're gonna take off those propeller guards, okay? Propeller guards, guys. I did go over this in the unboxing, but I'll just do it again real quick. Kind of pulling them and taking the propeller guards out of these notches. I can't see these things weighing more than a couple grams each, if even that, maybe a gram or two. But that's how easy it is, guys. Let's see if we can possibly get some crashes and do some more aggressive flying and sport with these propeller guards off and see how it works. Do a bit of a launch here and let's go for it. So this is with the propeller guards off, okay guys? And if you guys follow my channel and you're interested in solar, check this out. Just did a solar array install all by myself. Went ahead and saved a bunch on labor. My kids helped me a little bit. But here we go, we're making our own solar now. I'll have a review out on that, a whole do-it-yourself solar build if you're interested in that. Anyway, we want to see what was up with the GPS home point problem when we got too far away. I'm just squeezing the trigger as hard as possible right now, as fast as it'll go. We are going 13, so that 15 must have been with the wind where it went last time. Woo! So I'm all the way behind my head, all the way to the road, probably about 100 feet away. Oh, it says right there, 336 feet away. Wow. Okay, well the home point is where it's supposed to be. That's good. Let's try, now I can do flip. See that up there? That's interesting. So I'm gonna roll this roller here. And let's try some things. So flip would be just going full throttle, pushing forward. Whoa, left. Right, back. Woo! So nothing amazing, but kind of cool, you know. You can do some little tricks if you want. Let's try that 180 drift again. I'm just choosing it with the roller button by my thumb. And then just full throttle and boom. And when you let off, it stops. Let off the trigger. Full throttle and boom. So that's kind of cool to me. You can get some neat little 180 shots if you're an amateur and you don't want to do super acro stuff. The slide, I never got this. I never really felt how great this was. Yeah, I never figured out like what that really does. I mean, it doesn't seem to do much. Even with the Avata 2 when we were testing it, I don't know. You can also use this button to go slowly up and down, left or right, but unless do we turn and then can we slide out? I don't know. That just never seemed to really do anything for me with the slide. So slide, flip, 180. I thought there was supposed to be a loop mode, but maybe they need to update to get that loop mode in there. Let's go into sport mode. And yeah, wow, okay. Still can't do anything in sport except for slide. That's too bad. That's how kind of it was on the Avata. See how those on the left are just 180 drift and flip are just grayed out. So all you can do is slide in sport. Anyway, full throttle in sport. Yeah, wow, we're only going 10 right now? So wind is really going to influence this, guys. Just absolutely influencing wind and how high you are. Now we're going 17, so a little bit faster. Let's try to shoot the gap in the house here. Woo! Well, you can definitely have some fun, man. We are in sport. Let's just, whoa! Oh, wow. It saved itself on that. Let's just zoom around in sport for a bit. Remember, a little less stable in sport, and there seems to be, I mean, I can't tell that the ground sensors are working. See how low it's getting? It doesn't even care where the ground is right now. So anyway, wow, woo! So this is the kind of stuff you can do, man. Whoa. Oh, okay, this will be a good example. Can we do turtle mode? Oh, wow, just totally lost image, and we now have a sensor error problem. If you can hear me, I do not see a turtle mode. All right, well, no turtle mode, kind of disappointed here. At least I can't find it. All right, there it is. So crashed upside down, guys, and that's kind of disappointing how there is no turtle mode yet for the Neo. We need that ASAP because guys are going to be flipping this thing over, and why not have a turtle mode? I mean, it's so well protected with the propellers. It just basically, if you are flipped over like that, give two motors a jolt and it'll flip it back over, and then you will be able to fly again without picking it up. So they need to get that going ASAP. Try to do a little bit more aggressive flying here. And that weird sound in the motor doesn't seem to be affecting anything. Just about half battery right now. Let's try to maybe, I'm gonna just kind of turn and face the Neo, and I just wanna kind of maybe go into some of the bushes here, out here, and yeah, we can really do the same stuff. It's literally just like the Avata 2, just bobbing and weaving, just amazing. But like I said, more susceptible to wind, right? I really wish that the turtle mode was working, and the loop mode I've read about. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I want to go down here. I want to get in the trail, maybe go up a trail. And kind of like what I did with the Avata 2 before the battery dies. I do have 2 more fresh batteries, and forgive me guys if this review is long, but that's how my reviews are. They're long and thorough. Look at that shadow, that's kind of cool. Whoa, something was influencing it there. So maybe a little more stability influence. I notice once in a while it just kind of wants to glitch and move in certain directions. I don't know if maybe that's like processing limitation. Where's my trail? There it is. Or we're just pushing this thing too hard. I don't know. But it just seems like once in a while, maybe it's a GPS lock issue. I don't know. It's just like a little bit of a drift issue. Storage full. Recording will stop soon. Okay, so my drone is full. Wow. Oh, I know why. Shucks. I didn't clear the memory. I did a e-bike review. I was using this to track it, and so the storage was on there. Sorry about that. Wow, but you can see my goggles. Same spot where the Avata 2 got really pixelated. Same things happening with the Neo. So this is what trees do, guys. Look at this. Super pixelated. I'm gonna try to point my head in this direction. But at this point, oh my gosh, yeah, whoa. It's really bad. I'm just trying to point my goggles right at it, and it's just super laggy. Let's get back home here so I don't crash in the forest and don't know where it is. So I'm just really trying to go slow to navigate. Man, that sun is really throwing me off too. When the sun's low in horizon, be careful too, guys, because that'll screw you the heck up. So I'll have these goggles up and you'll be able to see that. It just really threw me for a loop there. But that's what vegetation and ground and everything does. Now the goggle quality is starting to get better. It's starting to come back. You know, we're starting to get, whoa, right in the sun is not good. Let's get back to the house here. Woo! Okay, so at least you'll be able to see the goggles. You got a taste of how it is in 4K 30. And, whoa, oh, impact detected. Okay, I landed upright. Let's see if we can just launch, okay, right here. Double tapping, motor starting. Click and hold. Don't hit the tree, please. Ooh. Ooh, it's trying. Oh, okay, I just basically interrupted it and just held the trigger, you know what I mean? To get out of that situation. So it's gonna go up a few feet when it first launches. I wanna try that again, man. That was actually really good to know. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna land on the gravel. Oh, low battery. Maybe we should try that in the next battery. Yeah, let's try that in the next battery because we're already 17%. Uh-oh, it wants to land, but then if you let the trigger go and re-push it, you can actually go just go ahead and control it how you want, kind of like the Avata was. And since I launched from that last position, guys, that's where it thinks my home point is now. You know what I mean? See how the H is over there? All the way over through the house in that gravel. So let's get on home. We'll put one more battery in. And I want to try the return to home function and stuff. Woo! So I do apologize for my internal memory on the Neo being full. Remember, it doesn't have any expandability. It's got 22 gigs on board, and you have to clear that out. But I think you got the gist of how 1080p 60 looks and 4K 30. Let's go ahead and launch and see if we can cut the rise short if we're under a tree like last time, and see how that works. Launching, pulling the trigger. Not really. I think that was just because I hit the tree and it had like a delayed, I think it just probably thinks it gets to a certain height, like it's like a preset burst to a certain height, you know what I mean? So once that time limit is up, then you can just go for it. So I think that's what happened. So unfortunately it will hit trees and branches. Wow, these solar panels are already getting dusty. It hasn't rained here in about a month or so. But I am powering my whole house on solar panels and battery power, guys. Pretty cool. So anyway, I think this is the last battery I want to do. Just going to do a little bit more zooming around. Let's switch back to sport mode. And we'll try to get out here and do a return to home and see how accurate it is. Keep in mind that I was launching under a metal roof, so it didn't look like I was getting many GPS satellites. So that may have been the problem on the first one. Wow, yeah, if there's no wind, it does feel quite amazing. You're not going to see the stabilized footage anymore. So this is how the goggles look, right? They're a little bit shaky. And then the drone itself, the image stabilization in the drone actually stabilizes it. So this is how fast we can go with the motion controller. How fast period we can go. I'm going to do a quick little sort of a range test maybe. Let's just fly out here. I'm kind of pointing the goggles and the motion controller in the direction I think the drone is. And I'm just gonna kind of skim the trees. We're already getting low on our HD signal. Trying to turn my head left and right. So I'm just sitting here pointing out to that direction, and whoa. Yeah, it's kind of scaring me. So I think that's about it. We're 1,068 feet away. I'm gonna hit return to home here. Just holding in the home mode button. And let's see what it does. So I'll have that screen up for you. I have it set to rise to about 100 feet just to avoid trees before it comes home. So unfortunately the camera is full. There we go. So I'm just adjusting with the roller with my thumb, and I'm able to, while I'm coming home, just kind of cruise. So this is pretty awesome. Just like a big drone's GPS, guys. You know, it knows where it needs to go. If you lose signal, that's awesome. Keep in mind that you're gonna have to cancel it if you're under a tree. so it doesn't hit the top of the tree, you know what I mean? Hit the branches if it decides to come and return to home. So there's the home point, and that's what I thought. So it thinks it's out there in the backyard area. I'm just gonna cancel this by pressing the H button again. And now we're just strictly back into manual flying mode. That's exactly what I thought. Because of my metal roof, it looks like this GPS may not be as good as the bigger drones, because it's kind of hit or miss under this metal roof. I was able actually to get quite a few more satellites with the other drones. So we have like a stripped down GPS in this thing that works good, but you know, anytime you're trying to minimize components and make them lighter and smaller, you may lose a little bit of the effectiveness of said components. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think that's enough. We're just gonna fly out here. Am I still in sport? Yeah, I'm still in sport, seeing the S over on the bottom left. So I think that's it, man. I just want to use up this battery, finish up. Woo! Not lose it in a tree, that's for sure. Maybe shoot some gaps here. But overall, I mean, we're gonna come back to the house and do a pros and cons. Still have 65% battery left. That's cool. So battery life, I'll have had the times up, guys. I'll check my flight log and I'll have had the times up for each, you know, just so you know what's going on. I'm just full trigger right now. So this is what you can expect from the motion controller in this thing. Let's see if we can get through here without crashing. Awesome. Woo! Go down. I just wish going down was a little quicker. It's like you want to do more, but you can't. Just slightly limited with the downward. It just, yeah, it goes too slow and then that happens, right? So anyway, let's launch again. Impact detected. Disappointing, no turtle mode. But hey, if it's on the ground, I can still rotate my camera up and down. You know what I mean? If you need to look maybe what's above you. So this could be precarious. You see that stuff up there? I might actually end up hitting it when I launch, so I want to be careful. Let's just try it. Tap, tap. Press and hold. Uh-oh, there it goes. Don't hit, oh, whoa, whoa. So stuff like that, you just gotta be careful, you know. And then of course, if you're returning to home, it'll go straight up to whatever you have it set at, and it will hit branches like the Avata, my review I did. So you really wanna be careful with that. Let's see if we can shoot this gap. Yeah. That was probably just barely bigger than the drone itself. Full trigger. Full trigger off right now from full speed. So it only literally takes a few feet to stop. Full trigger on, and then full trigger off. See that? So that seemed like about 5 feet maximum. Anyway, let's just mess around here. Going all the way up. Let's get back to normal mode, and I just want to do a couple more 180 drifts, get some cool footage, even though I'm just recording in my goggles. I wish you could do these in sport, because look how slow I'm going. It would just be so much cooler if you could do it in sport. I think they need to open that up. You guys comment down below and tell me what you think, but if you're really into using the motion controller and it's really what you enjoy flying with, comment down below if you think they should open up the 180 and stuff like that in sport, because it's not like there's any obstacle avoidance sensors, you know what I mean? You're just flipping like this and then letting off before it hits something. So I don't know why they can't do that. Oh, I landed upright. Yes, hooray. See how fast we can launch. Nope, you have to wait. You gonna let me launch? Oh, sensor error. Okay, well the sensor error went away. Don't hit a tree. So as long as it, doesn't flip over, you're good until they can activate that turtle mode. That's really disappointing. DJI, if you're listening, get your updates rolling for this thing, because a lot of guys that want a smaller drone or that bought it for the selfie functions and they want to start getting into this kind of flying, let's go ahead and get that turtle mode and make easy acro available. Come on, in sport mode, let's do it. Not that hard. Actually, I don't know how hard it is. Doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but I'm not a programmer, they are. So I just wish we could do a little quicker down. The up seems about the same in normal mode. Up and down is like 4.5 miles per hour. Let's go back to sport. Always testing different things, right? Straight up, 6.5. Straight down, 6.5. You get 2 miles per hour more up and down in sport only. We need to improve that, DJI. Come on. So, a few things, but look at this. I'm just flying this last battery and it's lasting quite a bit of time because I'm keeping up the pace. And that's kind of what happens with these kinds of drones. Is if you fly consistently, usually you're getting a more efficient flight. Woo, right under the power line. Oh my goodness. I almost hit the tree on that one. Is that the moon over there? Oh yeah. So I can't say enough about how amazingly clear the goggles are with OcuSync 4. So having OcuSync 4 on this and GPS to me is just amazing. I mean, in this tiny little drone, you know what I mean? This is insane. It's, what is this thing, like 230 grams? It's even lighter than than the Mini 4 Pro, the DJI. This is insanely light. Anyway, I'm just trying to use up this battery, fly around here, shoot some gaps, guys. This is what you can expect. I mean, just having an absolute blast until we crash, of course. But you think you're gonna crash, let off that trigger, boom. And it stops within a few feet. That's pretty awesome. Low battery. Okay, I'm gonna go out here and let's see if it will try to return home in low battery. I'm gonna try not to, I'm just gonna let it do its thing. When you see that warning, don't fly under any trees. Get out in the open, because it'll do this. It'll go straight up to your preset, unless you stop it, and you can just hit that home stop button. Pulling the trigger doesn't do anything. All I can do is either cancel it or rotate my gimbal up and down. So our launch, wow, can I control it now? It's kind of going in and out. I'm gonna stop it. Okay, and let's come on home. Or do we want to try a battery till 0%? We're at 15%. Let's try that. I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice one of these batteries for you guys, okay? I'm gonna get out of sport, going back into normal. Really hope you can see that on the bottom left of the screen. Boy, we didn't do head tracking, did we? My goodness gracious. Let's just try that real quick, shall we? Head track, head track, head track. Unable to use with easy acro enabled. Okay, turn off. Head tracking on. Quickly, go. Yes, it's working. Whoa, whoa. That was shocking. I'm moving my head around now. This is just me moving my head. And it is working. Okay, so head tracking definitely is working on this. Head tracking went off because battery's too low. All right, let's get home. Let's just see how long we can fly. I can still fly and control it up and down, guys, and forward. I'm just gonna keep flying around here, pulling full throttle, and we can still go pretty quick. 0%. Let's see how much after 0% we can fly. Woo! This could be destroying this battery, I don't know. Hopefully the goggles are area under aircraft, unsuitable for landing, push joystick down to force landing. Is it just gonna fly until it drops out of the sky? Let's see. Voltage too low. Oh, trying to get up, trying to get up. Oh, okay. It would not let me push up anymore after that warning. And it just shut the aircraft off there. There you are, little fella. So guys, that was pretty awesome. Let's get this guy out of the road before a truck or something runs him over. But I think that last flight was down to under 0%. I like to sacrifice at least one battery to give us an idea of how low you can get it and what the maximum flight time is. I believe this battery has been used a few times, so at least we're getting kind of a partial exercised battery. Anyway, let's get this thing back to the table, do our final pros and cons. So guys, just a fantastically fun experience. It reminds me so much of the Avata 2. That was just so fun. Of course, the Avata 2 is faster, heavier, can handle more wind, but the Neo is all about being as small as you can and still having GPS. OcuSync 4, I cannot believe they crammed all that stuff into here. That's just amazing to me. Plus, remember, it has this whole other control scheme for being just a selfie drone where you can take it out of your pocket, pop it up, and do quick shots. If you do want to see that video, guys, don't forget to check out down below, down in the description. I'll also try to have a link pop up here of that first video going through in depth all of the selfie modes and seeing how it works just from a cell phone, seeing what the range is from a cell phone. If you've got the Goggles 3, if you've got the motion controller, or if you want to buy them, this is a great experience for you to have. If you want something small, this would be the perfect time for DJI to release a cheaper set of goggles. This is $199, this controller is $99, but these goggles are $400 to $500. Do a stripped down version of the goggles, release them for maybe the same price as the drone, maybe around $199. And I think they would have a huge hit for people that wanna, possibly they bought this just for the selfie experience, but they don't wanna spend too much money on an FPV experience, but they wanna try it. No turtle mode. I don't know why it doesn't have turtle mode yet. They really need to enable easy acro in sport mode. I don't know why they can't do that. I mean, people that wanna push it a little more should be able to do that a few miles per hour faster in sport mode, so it's not like you're going anywhere quick. I think the max I went was like 17 or 18, maybe 20 at times, for the maximum speed. So it's not like a full-on fast race drone, especially with the motion controller. If you do want to have more of a manual acro experience, remember it will link to the FPV RC as well, and some of the newer controllers like that you would have got with the DJI Mini 4, so you can use those on this as well. It's going to be quite affected in the wind, so if at all possible, take those off. It seemed to me like it's a decent amount of flight time for this tiny little drone with such a small battery. Some of the pros, the same exact experience as the DJI Avata 2, aside from less wind handling and less speed. This is a little sketchy to fly in, you know, close proximity to kids and in a house and stuff. It's just right on that size where it's a little too big. And so this really opens it up to kind of safety and that really close proximity flying. So all in all, guys, really impressed with the Neo in this mode. You are going to be able to win a Neo for yourself in my drawing. So don't forget to check that out down below in the description and see how you can win your own from me. I also have a little signed note in there, personal note from me to you. Don't miss the range test that's coming up next. See how far it can fly with the motion controller and the goggles. And I may even connect it to one of these on the second battery of the range test. Definitely the motion controller is my favorite way to fly these things. It's just so intuitive. You're just moving your hand around, flying like you would in the cockpit of like a jet fighter plane or something. It's just such a great experience. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. I had lots of fun. Don't forget to check out the drawing where you can win your own, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.